Maarit Harden, and welcome to Maarit Harden Ministries. In these video series we are looking at thinking, and this is thoughtful video number 6. You might be asking yourself, after we've had all of these videos on thinking about thinking about our thoughts as a thought train, recognizing the styles of thinking, looking at perspectives in our thinking and trying to change them, and recognizing that all our thoughts don't come of our own accord, but they've come influenced by something. So we're up to what should we be thinking. Now, I have used this lovely helpful acronym, and it follows the letters of think, T-H-I-N-K, for a way to recognize what we should be thinking about, what things are great thoughts to have. And it's based on this verse from Philippians 4:8. I know I haven't put all of the parts of Philippians 4:8 in here, but I'm just going to read this verse out to you. And it's in Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Finally, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue, if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. Isn't that a good verse? Well, let me tell you about the think acronym. So our first part of this acronym is the letter T, and it stands for true. We want to think on things that are true, not things that just might be true. We want to think on things that we really know are true. And sometimes you need to recognize that we can focus on facts, but facts aren't all the truth. Sometimes you can have a selective part of facts and miss out on the truth because you haven't seen the whole truth. So we want to actually focus on the whole truth. True things, things that we know are true. So that's T. So I'm going to write that in. The H. Obviously, H is for helpful. Helpful. We want our thoughts to actually help us go in the direction that we want to go in, to go and reach our goals. We want our thoughts to help others too. So being helpful in our thoughts, so choosing those thoughts that help us in our path to our future. The next one after that is I. I is for inspiring. Lots of the parts of Philippians 4:8 are about inspiring us to think differently, think higher thoughts, think thoughts that, aspire to something. So they are inspiring thoughts. They open us to the possibilities of a different future when we have had negative things in our life. So we want to have inspired thoughts. N. Well, N actually stands for necessary. There's some things we actually need to think about. We need to process, paying bills on time. We need to recognize the things that have a timely part to them. So we have to recognize that those places where we have to think about something or process something that is necessary, then we need to actually think about it then, not put it off. So necessary is the next one. And finally, the K stands for kind. This world needs more kindness, and we need to start by thinking kind thoughts, including kind thoughts towards ourselves. God thinks kind thoughts towards you. What would it be like if you started to think kind thoughts towards yourself and others as well? Kind thoughts are helpful thoughts. They inspire us. When we see somebody being kind around us, it does inspire us to be kind as well. So I think our world needs a lot more kind thoughts. So there's an acronym for you to remember to think about these things that are true, and this is the bigger picture true, things that are helpful, what helps you get past those difficulties, things that are inspiring, that, put our gaze up higher, things that are necessary. I need to do this now because this is a timely thing to think on, and things that are kind. These are great things to think about. Have a write of those acronyms on your journal. Write the THINK and write down those words. Maybe even make a big artwork of it and put it on your wall just to remind you, these are the things to think about. It's often when we faced with, difficult situations where we get a little reminder, it might be a little piece of paper that you put on the fridge or somewhere like on a mirror to remind you to think like this. True, helpful, inspiring, necessary and kind. Have a go at making this into your journal, an artwork that includes those letters. And we'll see you again for the next in the Thoughtful video series. Ephesians. The prayer that Paul wrote for each of us, that the whole family in heaven and earth is named under Christ Jesus, that he would grant to us the riches of his glory, to be strengthened with might through his Spirit in the inner man, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may be able to comprehend with all the saints what is the width and length and depth and height, to know the love of Christ which passes knowledge, that you may be filled with the fullness of God. It's a great, great verse.